If your steak hits the table lukewarm and your pasta tastes reheated, you're not crazy, you're catching the seams of a microwave kitchen. Tonight, we're naming 3 chains where the sizzle is often steam and the fresh is a warmed plastic bag. Stay with me, because I'll also show you 2 national spots that still cut steaks in-house, bake real rolls, and cook to order. By the end, you'll know the quick tests, texture, temperature, and ingredient origin, that tell you if you're paying for a cook or a reheat station. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great, thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
Experts say that the lack of tuna DNA could also be the result of overprocessing or cooking. This morning, Julia Carmel that found no amplifiable tuna DNA in the sample. While the results could be the sign that there is no actual tuna in the sandwich.
$5 footlong. A recent analysis commissioned by the New York Times sought to figure out how much tuna is actually in Subway's tuna sandwich.
What if the sizzle on your plate is staged steam, the sauce came out of a hot water bath, and the grill marks are the only thing cooked to order? That is the trick a lot of mid-range chains pull. The theater is loud, the cooking is quiet, and you pay full price for it. Let's talk about the setup. When a chain chases speed and margins, the kitchen turns into an assembly line. Bags in, tickets out. Real cooking slows the line. So they break the meal into modules, proteins pre-cooked in bulk, sauces in sealed pouches, sides pre-portioned. The line cooks become reheaters and plate dressers. The goal is timing, not taste. You get consistency, sure, but it is the kind that comes from a factory, not a stove.
Complication here is, in the case, a lot of what interested me when it broke in January is that they weren't saying what it was, if not tuna. I learned about the testing, I realized why you would end up having a result like that, where you're saying, you know, it's not coming back as tuna, but I can't tell you what it is.
Tuna. Second, the Times report acknowledges that DNA testing is unreliable when identifying processed or cooked tuna.
The truth is you pay restaurant prices while the back line runs airline playbooks. Pre-cooked chicken gets dunked to warm. Bagged pasta sauce gets clipped and poured. Heat lamps hold the fresh for minutes that feel like hours to the food. If the ticket times stay tight, the method stays put. Your bill does not say reheated. Your palate figures it out. Let's start with Applebee's. Claims swirl of dips that go from plastic cup to microwave to your table, pastas that were boiled earlier and rewarmed on the fly, and steaks that hit looking fine but cut pale and cool inside. Warm edges, cold core. That is batch cooking paired with slow holding. It keeps the tickets moving but wrecks the texture. A real cook rests a steak, not a heat lamp. Here is the real kicker with the sizzle. That hiss you hear can be a hot plate spritzed with water or hit with steam. It sounds like cooking, it sells the scene, but sound is not heat in the food. If the plate scorches your fingers while the chicken eats tepid, you just met the stagehand. You can fake fireworks. You cannot fake internal temp.
This is the alleged false advertising goes beyond exaggeration here, which is why the green light now is moving forward for this. What does that mean? By ads that, according to the suit, make it look like the burgers are about 35% bigger, with more than double the actual meat.
Between what's in an ad and what they're actually purchasing. What the judge is saying in this case is it seems to be so egregious that they should be able to move forward.
Now let's move on to Chili's. Ribs arrive par-cooked off-site, vacuum sealed, then warmed and finished fast for color. Fajita chicken and steak come pre-seasoned for speed and go from bag to heat to skillet. Queso lands from big batch bases that hold well but taste flat after a while. The skillet looks great, the peppers smoke, the timing is tight. The trade is texture. Meat that sits sealed and gets reheated loses snap.
It doesn't mean that Burger King is guilty of any sort of misleading consumers or the public. It just means they're going to be taking next steps here. The consumer could reasonably argue that Burger King, over the course of the last several years, just decided to make their hamburgers larger, when in fact that may not be the reality.
It chews dense, not juicy. This pace creates its own risks. Health inspection themes at these lines often hit the same notes. Food held in the danger zone, raw and ready-to-eat items parked too close, cooling done sloppy, reheats not hot enough. When volume spikes, logs slip. When a fryer limps, the crew works around it. That is how cross-contamination creeps in. It is not one villain in a backroom. It is a system built to sprint.
He is a big bun.
Wendy's is slimming down,
Where's the beef?
announcing plans to close hundreds of locations through next year.
Burger King, Lord, not Wendy's, not Wendy's.
It's the latest sign of a dining dip across casual and fast food chains. This group is facing several headwinds, including unemployment, increased student loan repayment, and slower real wage growth.
TGI Fridays leans on the freezer wall. Apps roll out frozen, then crisped and staged. Burger patties pre-cooked in batches go back under heat when you order. The result can chew rubbery, like a sponge got a tan. You see open kitchens, but the show is more unboxing than prepping. Boxes cut, bags peeled, a microwave hum under the fryer hiss. Even the bar mirrors the trend with mixes that swap fresh for shelf life. It pours fast. It tastes thin. So what do you watch for at the table? Quick tests, no drama. Texture first.
And from some others that really serve that Gen Z customer, and seeing a little bit of a drop-off in sales.
From burgers and burritos to a salad slowdown, Sweetgreen is also warning about a younger customer pullback, with Applebee's owner Dine Brands Global and McDonald's pushing to focus on value.
McDonald's is putting value back.
A fry that snaps then goes chewy in seconds sat too long under a lamp. A burger that beads moisture but gives no juice was warmed, not cooked. Heat next. If the plate hisses and the bite is lukewarm, you got sound effects. If the sauce is glossy smooth like lotion, not simmered and a bit grainy, it came from a bag. And timing tells a story. If 5 different mains land at once on a busy night, that is coordination by holding, not by fire. The payoff here is simple. These chains lean on shortcuts that keep the line moving and keep your food safe enough to serve fast, but the dining part, the fresh heat, live texture, and real timing, drops out. So how do you spot the shortcuts in the wild and dodge paying for a staged show? Let's break down the telltales you can use in seconds at the table. Fresh cooking shows up in heat, texture, and timing. If the plate screams but the bite is lukewarm, you just paid for theater, not dinner. Real food carries steam, has snap, and lands when it is actually done. You have power at the table. Ask how it is prepped. Check inspection scores for temperature control and cross-contamination patterns. Spend your money at spots that cut, mix, and cook in-house. Like and subscribe to help us keep pressure on chains to cook, not reheat. Next, we test the 2 worth it chains against these checks, on camera, so you can see the difference.